On this episode of Designing Spaces, high-end apartment updates for New York, a company well-versed in water and fire damage restoration, ways to use geothermal energy in your home. All of this and so much more coming up on Designing Spaces. A New York City apartment redesign is an incredibly intimidating process. From getting the right permits to the selection of the materials, it's hard to do without help.
Some of the consequences of trying to do a renovation on your own or hiring a handyman are that a renovation in New York City, especially Manhattan, is a very complicated process. There's a lot of moving parts, and most people are not experienced with dealing with all of the different aspects of the renovation. It's not just hiring a handyman. When you're dealing with an apartment building, there's a lot of other factors outside of just your apartment that may affect your renovation. And you need someone that has experience in dealing with all of those factors.
After the design process is finished, most clients don't understand everything else that's involved with putting the project together, starting with filing the permits, speaking to the management companies, dealing with the neighbors is a significant issue. I think what really separates us from most other contractors in the city is that some people decide to hire a designer, then they hire an architect, and then they bring in a contractor. Those three groups have never worked together as one. That's where a lot of problems occur. The contractor has the plans and then says, well, we can't do this. This is impossible to build this way. With MyHome, we control the entire process. All the separate departments speak to each other and discuss things before the problem occurs. And I think that is the main difference.
Some of the advantages with going with an established firm like MyHome is that we offer experts in every department. You're hiring a team, you're not hiring an individual person.
The permit process can be incredibly confusing because the average citizen doesn't pull their own permit. It has to be either pulled by an architect, an engineer, or a contractor. But in order to know which permit is required, we have to go through the entire approval process, which includes the architect review. So one would need expertise and experience in order to handle it. Well, I take the entire stress away from the client by handling the entire approval process on my own. I'm the only point of contact that is required from them. I gather all the information. I know who to gather it from, what's required. I understand all the terminology that's used. So it's difficult for one to do on their own without having that sort of experience in the field of remodeling or renovations.
When working with MyHome Design, their team can handle the hard stuff so that you can handle the fun stuff.
So after we have the measurement meeting at the client's apartment, we set up a design meeting in the showroom. It's in the theater district. We have a very expansive showroom with samples of all different types of materials that we'll need to complete the renovation. So we have kitchen cabinet and bathroom vignettes. We have cabinetry samples, countertops, fixtures, flooring, everything you could imagine to help the client realize their dream, you name it.
So the idea behind the renovation was we had just purchased the apartment and it hadn't been updated for a while, so it was definitely livable, but not updated.
And we checked out a couple other contractors, and the nice thing about MyHome is that they had worked in this building before, and so that was definitely a selling point when they actually know our building, know the owners and the management here. And also they had a showroom, which was great to be able actually to see the finishes and the products that we would potentially get. I have to say, when I walked through the first day that we moved in, because we didn't live here while they were doing the renovation, I was just kind of floored by how much it looked like what we had envisioned originally in our head. And so I'm just so happy with the end product, and it feels like home.
MyHome has renovated thousands of apartments in New York City. With this experience, MyHome is able to guide clients through the renovation process to make it a smooth transition from stage to stage and get the construction done as quickly as possible, because nobody wants the process to drag on.
For a free consultation and estimate of your renovation, visit their website, myhomeus.com, or watch this segment again at designingspaces.tv. A storm or a fire can be devastating. On top of potentially losing personal items, you're now tasked with the stress of getting your home or business back to the way it used to be. Water damage, smoke damage, and mold all have to be taken care of quickly and properly.
The biggest problems that I see in smoke and water damage is hidden damage. There's a lot of ambiguity when it comes to smoke finding its ways in between cavities of the wall, so that when particular cleaning companies come to do their cleaning, they surface clean. Other problems that we come across with water damage is hidden areas of moisture. So what we do is we use state-of-the-art equipment called moisture meters and thermal imaging cameras.
At Strongwater Restoration, there's a team of certified professionals that provide a turnkey solution to various residential and commercial disaster recoveries.
In 1963, my grandfather, who was a structural engineer, and my father, who was in his 20s, founded the company. Our services are emergency restoration. We go to the building within an hour after you might suffer a loss, fire, pipe break, hurricane, flood damage, lightning damage, etc. We'll go to the site and we'll do an evaluation. So my feeling is your house should be as good or better than it was. So we make sure that whether it's dry ice blasting, hand sanding, or replacing, because if I can't get that framing to a perfect area of visual inspection, then it must be removed. And that's my standard with adjusting a claim with an insurance company. The IRS does not do your taxes, correct? You hire an accounting firm to do your taxes, to document, to maximize what your benefits are for tax purposes. Although the insurance company, adjusters, and their consultants are great people and very knowledgeable and experienced, there's still an insurance company that has their guidelines to make money and mitigate how much money they pay out, because they're a business. So when you do your taxes, you hire an accountant. Well, it's the same thing. They might have a very, very reputable consultant representing the insurance company adjuster, but you want a consultant that also understands restoration.
The Spectrum Designs is really a business with a social mission, and that social mission is to create jobs and employment opportunities for people on the autism spectrum. And we do that through a custom apparel printing business, making t-shirts, hats, hoodies, pens, mugs for a wide range of businesses, and engaging people on the autism spectrum in all phases of production. Spectrum Design was introduced to Strongwater when we were looking to do a major gut renovation and envelope of a building in Westchester in New York. Spectrum Designs wouldn't have been able to get the job done without the support of Strongwater. They donated time, energy, resources. Mensch donated all the materials. It was a real collaborative team effort to get the project done. And mind you, it was done during the height of the pandemic, which brought a whole new set of challenges in that they navigated and communicated.
There's people in this company that have been here longer than I, and we're a team, and it's all about including everybody as a team. Everybody has a passion, and we take that passion and we bring that passion to the businesses and homes to bring them back together again, better than they used to be.
With years in the business, Strongwater Restoration is really the go-to when you need restoration or remediation services. If you'd like more information, visit their website, strongwaterrestoration.com, or watch this segment again at designingspaces.tv. Keeping your home cool in the summer and warm in the winter can be expensive. Does your house use oil, electric, or maybe even natural gas? Well, there's a new option in town, geothermal energy.
So geothermal heat pumps sound very complicated and mysterious to a lot of people, but the reality is they're very simple devices. They're a refrigerant-based system that works just like any other. The air conditioner in your home, the refrigerator that you use every day, they work in the exact same way. Now, in the case of a geothermal heat pump, the reason that we are naturally so much more efficient than air source equipment is because of the fact that we exchange energy with soil rather than trying to exchange with the air. With a propane or oil-fired system, obviously the way that you heat your home is you burn fuel to create heat in your home. So as it gets colder and colder outside, you need to burn more and more fuel, which means after a certain point your tank gets empty, you need to call the fuel guy and have another delivery, right? And when you do that, you're always subject to scheduling and availability. Hopefully they can get out to your home when you run out of fuel. The other thing that you have to worry about is fuel prices, right? Because they tend to be more volatile. Your next oil delivery could be a whole lot more expensive than the previous one.
Dandelion Energy has been bringing this new technology to homes across New York and Connecticut, with expansion plans throughout the Northeast.
We install geothermal systems in 3 phases. In our approach to installation, we always start from the outside and work our way into the building. We start with the heavy drilling equipment outside and we drill the wells. Once the wells are drilled and the piping's installed, then we come in the second phase with trenching equipment and basically dig a trench between the wells, if there's more than one of them in the yard, and then from the wells up to the house. And we connect everything together, bring it up to the house, and all of that's done below ground. And then once those first two phases are done, then we're ready to decommission your old system, put the new heat pump in its place, connect it to the ground loop, and then make all of the other electrical and ductwork connections that it takes to operate the system. All of the Dandelion heat pumps have Wi-Fi monitoring on board. We've built our own customer portal where as your heat pump runs, we continuously collect data from the unit. We know how much electricity it consumes. We know all the important parameters about how it's working. So refrigerant temperatures and pressures, ground loop flows and temperatures, airflow. So we can really watch the unit remotely and we automatically get diagnostic information about the unit, the health of the unit as a result.
And the best part of geothermal energy? It's better for the environment. That means a greener, more efficient home.
So we don't need to rely on delivered fuels like oil or propane or natural gas, and we don't need to burn those things to produce heat. We simply use electricity to operate the heat pump. Because the system runs entirely on electricity, you can pair it with rooftop solar, completely get away from the grid, get your electricity from renewable means, which is going to be the most environmentally friendly approach possible.
It's time to save money and save the environment with a geothermal system from Dandelion Energy. Visit their website, dandelionenergy.com, or watch this segment again at designingspaces.tv. This is the work of Magic Landscaping. They've been beautifying areas around New Jersey for almost 50 years. Owner Drew Shepard started working in this field when he was only 11 years old.
Magic Landscaping is a full-service landscape design build company. We take pride in designing properties, fixing properties that are broken. We provide planting, hardscaping, as well as grounds maintenance services, including snow removal in the wintertime. We assess the entire property. We assess the design of what's existing, figure out what we need to fix. We also assess the plantings, whether or not they're the appropriate size, shape, whether or not they're blocking architectural elements. And we come back to our client with a full solution that makes sense for their property.
My experiences with Magic Landscaping, we go back at least 25 years to another house that we had built, and Drew and his team did the design and installation of our plants, and we've continued our relationship to this home, and we've just had a great relationship for all these years.
The best way to take care of your property, your investment, is to hire a company that is well versed in the maintenance of the plant material that you have and how to properly care for it horticulturally correctly and seasonally.
They have a unique perspective and approach on every job.
Specifically on this project, there's a transformer that sits in the front of this lawn that you don't know when you drive by. But when I got here, it was sitting there. And what I was trying to create was a very calm surreal feel for this home. And the idea of putting a circle of boxwoods around this transformer didn't fly for me. I had a conference with the client. We decided to bring in several truckloads of dirt to actually artificially raise the grade and basically countersink this transformer and build a wall around it and put appropriate drainage in it so that anyone coming to the property would never know that it was there.
Here's another unique example.
Great thing about Drew is he has great ideas. Sometimes we don't always agree. He pushes back. We have a very large wall, a retaining wall, that he insisted be covered with stone that's around here, river stone. We were a little skeptical, not so sure, but he was insistent upon it to the point where he said if we didn't like it, he would pay for it. We said, okay. We love the wall. It is absolutely gorgeous, and he definitely made the right call.
Drew and his team can help you make the right decisions when it comes to what works best where. And this leads to magical masterpieces.
One of the most important factors in a beautifully designed landscape is not just how it is seen, but as how it feels. And that ties in hardscaping with softscaping. So respecting architectural cues from the house, making sure that you respect perpendicular and parallel lines and are tying into the structure. That's important for basic hardscaping design. Materials that flow with the house, that complement the house. Then the fun begins with the softscaping. Then you bring in masses of flowers, masses of shrubs and trees to provide color and comfort.
One of the tips I like to share between using annuals and perennials, annuals are a flower that lasts the entire season. They bloom and constantly, whereas perennials have a bloom cycle that lasts only a certain period of time. You'd want to use them in conjunction with one another so that you get constant color in your garden.
And as a design and build firm, they can beautify your pool or backyard area to make it more inviting and make it more like a staycation destination.
We just love being outdoors. It makes everyone so happy in the summer. In the winter, we're out in the snow around here and sledding and just enjoying that. Also, the fall, seeing the beautiful colors of the fall.
And a lot of that is rooted in traditional design, basic design, to make sure that when we're done with this project, not only looks beautiful today, but it looks beautiful 20 years from today.
So get outside, enjoy the fresh air and the beauty that is around you.
Like what you see? Who wouldn't? Visit magiclandscapinginc.com to find out more. And of course, visit us at designingspaces.tv. A cool leather and wood tray for the dining room table or a reclaimed wood American flag for the backyard. Everyone wants to decorate their home with pieces of decor that sets their house apart from the rest. Everyone wants a conversation piece, but where do you get one?
In about 2003 is when I initially took a trip to Colombia and started importing home decor and working with different artisans over there. I was actually in the teaching field, worked in a middle school, coaching and all that, and then moved back here and realized that's what I wanted to do, wanted to get out of teaching, and then started thinking about how I could make it work. And then in 2006 started a contracting business, which then fast forward turned into Restoration Oak in about 2010.
If you're looking for a unique piece of furniture or a one-of-a-kind mirror that you can't find online, it's time to visit Restoration Oak.
Customers will find really unique pieces in our store. Everything here is handmade. Everything has a story to it and a story behind it because these are made by artisans in all different parts of the world. So we get a few things from Colombia, we get some things from Bali, a lot from Indonesia in general, Brazil. And each of these pieces are handmade by the artisans who really do a lot in terms of putting their heart and soul into the pieces. And you see that in the workmanship and the quality of the product. And it's much different than something that's mass produced. You can see the quality in these pieces.
When I started the business, started as being sustainable. So I work with a clay product on these walls. with paints, zero VOCs. Just because being in the field and working as a contractor, the last thing I want to do is inhale chemicals and be around toxic stuff. So in my mind, I said, let's start with eco-friendly, over 10 years ago. And then when I started going to this part of the business, I said, let's continue it. And, we sourced reclaimed wood. We're in the process now of going from log to actual furniture from local trees in the area and just keeping everything as sustainable as possible.
With the addition of their new sawmill, Restoration Oak can take a downed tree from someone's backyard and create something incredible, unique, and extremely personal.
The sawmill is going to give us raw materials or, any materials we need. We don't have to go through a middleman, so we can stop going to the lumber yard. We can make our own material. So I think if someone's going to come to us, they're going to get a quality product.
You surround yourself with things that you love in your home. And if every time you look at one of these pieces, if it brings you a little bit of happiness or joy, then that makes us happy.
Ready to decorate your new home? Let nature be your canvas with Restoration Oak. Visit their website, restorationoak.com, or see this segment again at designingspaces.tv. If you're like most people, you spend about a third of each day in bed, and studies show that people who get 7 hours of sleep are less likely to get sick than those who sleep only 5 or 6. Do you know what that means? Having the right mattress is important for your health and well-being. Watch this.
So Chevrolet Mattress Factory has been located in Union County, New Jersey for almost 50 years. So I've been in the industry since I was 13, and I've seen just about everything. And a lot of these larger manufacturers have decided that there's a one mattress fits all, which isn't accurate. There's different body types, different weights, different ailments, and all of that has to be considered when selecting the perfect mattress.
That's why they manufacture several different types of mattresses.
We've got our traditional innerspring mattresses, which are flippable, kind of like the ones we all grew up on. We've got our hybrids, which is a combination of innerspring and latex. We then have our Nirvana collection, which is a springless mattress, latex and foam. And then we have our organic mattress.
Every mattress that we make here can be adjusted to put on an adjustable base, which is a really nice feature because people seem to enjoy the benefits of having an adjustable base more now than ever.
As far as price points, we've got things in every price range, so we can suit all needs.
Every Shovelin mattress is custom built right here behind the showroom.
And we're not an assembly line, so everything is built custom to each customer's need. One of the things we like to do here is give tours. We've had customers come in and watch their mattress be built. We've also brought in groups like the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts, and we give them a little badge, the factory tour badge, and they get a kick out of it. Not too many people see the behind the scenes.
We take a lot of pride in using materials that are made in the USA. In fact, we source most of our materials as locally as we possibly can, many of them within the tri-state area. And a lot of those are also small businesses, small family businesses just like us, so we like that.
If I'm putting my name on the bed, it's got to hold up, it's got to be quality, it's got to be what the customers want.
All of the foam that we use here is CertiPure US certified, which means that you'll find that it's free of flame retardants, ozone depleters, heavy metals, formaldehydes, and it's also low in VOC emissions, which means you're not going to find it has that funky smell that sometimes comes along with foam, so it's a little extra peace of mind.
They look at a mattress as an investment in their client's health and wellness.
So many good things happen while we sleep. We heal, we recover from workouts, we take the things that we learn during the day and store them into long-term memory, and all that stuff is important. So it's important that we get the kind of deep sleep that's required, and a mattress is going to be really, really helpful for that, to make sure that you're comfortable and you get to sleep well enough through the night so that you're getting all that good restorative sleep that you need.
What's great about being a factory direct is that if somebody is not completely comfortable, we have the ability to pick it up, bring it back in, make an adjustment, make it firmer or softer, and be sure that they're sleeping comfortably. Our refund rate is less than 1%, whereas the industry standard is approximately 17%.
So how do you know it's time for your new mattress?
So you know it's time to change your mattress if you're waking up and your lower back's bothering you and it takes about 20-30 minutes to kind of loosen up. Also, just visually looking at the mattress, if you see any body impressions, clearly it's time to replace it.
We feel really lucky to be able to do what we do. Every mattress that we make is handcrafted specifically for each individual customer, and we feel like that allows us to make an impact in their lives and their health and wellness.
Want to know more about Shovlin Mattress Factory? Visit shovlinmattress.com or designingspaces.tv. When you purchase a home, one of the first things you need to do is figure out your homeowner's insurance. And for the average person, that could get really complicated. What company do you choose? What kind of coverage do you need? What about deductibles? These are all questions every homeowner has to think about.
For homeowners insurance, there are several options. The reason they aren't all created equal is there are particular coverages that are excluded from certain policies.
Apex Brokerage is a full-service insurance brokerage. We offer commercial lines and personal lines for all different types of exposures, contractors, landlords, homeowners, auto.
So we are approximately 30 years old. When we opened in 1992, first generation in the insurance business. I was appointed by the Superintendent of Insurance in the state of New York to serve on the board of directors for New York Property Insurance Underwriters, one of only 3 in the state. Apex can offer the best, most competitive pricing with the proper coverage. We take customer service to the extreme. We believe that every customer is as valuable as the next. We want to make sure you have the proper coverage. We're not going to sell you something just because it's the right price. We have to make sure it's the right coverage.
With almost 30 years in the insurance business, Apex Brokerage can handle any insurance needs. And Apex knows that when life changes, insurance changes too.
So the reason you really would take an annual review of your policy and look at each policy as it renews is because people's situations change throughout the year. Maybe you've got a new job and you have bigger assets and you need to increase your liability insurance to protect those assets. Maybe you have put in a pool during the year, and now you need to make sure that that policy provides coverage for the pool exposure. So you don't want to be caught in a situation after the fact. Insurance is something you can never purchase when you need it. You have to purchase ahead of time, and hopefully never have to use it.
Working with a brokerage, we work for the client, where a captive agent works for the company. We are here to serve the client's needs, not the insurance carrier needs.
If you'd like more information on how to get the right insurance policy for your needs, visit their website, apexbrokerageco.com, or watch this segment again at designingspaces.tv. For more information on anything you've seen on today's show, or to be a part of the show, go to our website, designingspaces.tv.